Hello, my name's Eddie and I've been at Cathedral for 4 years. I'm a Cathedral Chorister and I sing about 4 times a week. Okay? I'm here with Dr. Price, the master of the choristers and organist at the Cathedral. I'm going to be asking him a few questions and looking at the organ. So how old is the organ?
Well, Eddie, the organ case is 301 years old this year. But the pipes inside vary from about 200 years to 10 years.
Oh, that's very old. For those that don't know, how does an organ work?
There's an enormous blower in the basement of the cathedral, and it pushes air up into this instrument, and then when I play a note, the air goes through and out and creates that sound.
The console looks quite complicated. What are all these different stops for?
So you've led me into a really good thing to tell everybody, that the phrase pulling out all the stops comes from the organ, and that means, of course, to really do as much or as great as you can. That relates to exactly what I can do on the organ, which is to pull out all the stops to make an enormous, wonderful noise. Or a very soft one. So each stop makes a noise from the softest to the loudest.
I understand during the war that something happened to the organ. What happened?
So the case was left here, but the pipes inside were put in safekeeping in a factory in London, and we had a replacement organ for the wartime. Unfortunately, when we picked up the phone, or my predecessor but 6 picked up the phone to collect the organ after the war, they discovered that the factory in London had been bombed and the organ was no more. So we ended up with a new instrument after the war. So we're in the heart of the organ, just above where it's played from, and you can see the pipes extend from about 3 or 4 foot long down to the tiniest 1/4 of an inch, and the tiny ones make the highest, smallest noises, and then the depth of tone you can see by the bigger pipes, and all the different sounds, some flutes made out of wood, and some trumpet reed sounds made out of tin and lead. And all these pipes added together make the glorious noise that you expect from a big English cathedral organ. And when we pull them all the stops out, we can make thousands of pipes make a noise and sing. So there are about 4,500 pipes all told, from ones which are as tiny as this, or 32 foot in length, make the big rumbling noises on the pedal organ. Almost all of the organ is used a lot of the time. There are occasional special sounds which we reserve for big occasions. So our new trumpets we played earlier on, we would reserve for big occasions in the cathedral and major times of the church year, like Christmas and Easter. So our case in Portsmouth is very unusual. In fact, we have 2. This is the eastern case, which has an interesting history. It was built for here in 1718, as you can see on the case at the bottom underneath the pipes. When this church was made a cathedral in 1927, they decided to move it to the other side of the gallery, facing into a new nave. But after about 60 years, when the cathedral was finally finished in the 90s, it was decided to put it back to its rightful place on this side of the building where it fits most beautifully, and to take the opportunity to gold leaf the pipes and some of the decorations. And so the gold pipes are distinctive and as beautiful as they were the day they were painted in 1994. So we have a mascot here called Roy, who is the organ monkey, who you might just make out on the case, on the bottom of the case. He's a tiny little furry monkey. And that's because, of course, we look like a smiling monkey face. I'm sure the people who designed it in 1718 hadn't ever seen a monkey, so it's an accidental fact that it looks like a depiction of a monkey. Nevertheless, it's really quite a cheerful thing to look at.
So is it all right if I could have a quick go?
Absolutely. It's all ready for you. So, and this one.
Price, and be sure to pop in any day. Dr. Price is at the organ every day, and hear it for yourself.